What's up, guys? Welcome back to the That's Sowdev podcast. My name is Dev. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. We got some tea to get into. But before we get into the tea, make sure you go ahead and follow me at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, including Blue Sky and YouTube. At That's Sowdev on Blue Sky, and we got a bopping on YouTube. Okay, anyway, moving on. Yo, so we're here to talk about the Grammys. Obviously. Okay? I just have to say, before I get into the list of winners and, I have my thoughts on those, I'm going to get to that. But I want to discuss the show just kind of in general right now, because it's weird to say that I enjoyed the Grammys, especially after the last couple of years. I mean, they've just had show after show after show after show that just, it didn't hit. You know what I mean? It didn't live up to the expectations of what we would like the Grammys to be, or what it has been. And I feel like this show really captured the heart of the Grammys. I feel like they've finally done that. And it was such a well put together show, and all of the acts that they had together, it was just phenomenal through and through. I feel like everybody put on a good performance. They really got good, energized performers for this show, and that paid off as well. So even if it was somebody that I didn't listen to before, or I generally wasn't too interested in, I was very locked in on their performance. And I do mean everybody. I don't feel like I watched a performance where I was kind of like, let me not pay attention, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of times, I'll let it play on in the background, I'll text, or I'll go make some food or do whatever while the show is running. But I genuinely wanted to watch everything. And I just feel like overall it gave such a wonderful show. I mean, I didn't have any complaints. In the general consensus on social media is that everybody is feeling the same way, and everybody's feeling kind of skeptical about why on earth we are enjoying the Grammys. And I don't want it to have to be a question of why, my hope is that this is going to be a regular thing where we can enjoy the Grammys again. Obviously, I'm going to be skeptical on it. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you had a great, this Grammys was, 10 out of 10 for me." Like, I'm not going to expect that until it becomes a habit. So, just saying, because, we have a lot of instances with the Grammys where, well, let's just be honest. It's messy. It's messy. And, especially with the whole incident where they announced that Nicki Minaj had won that Grammy last year. And that was interesting to me because of all the ways that this information got out into the public, the way that it was on the blog's list, the way that they already had everything already pre-made to post that they had won, and it was so coordinated. Like, it wasn't like, oops, we accidentally made this tweet and deleted it. Like, you had that information printed and sent, and it was coordinated to had been done. So it begs the question of what's going on behind the scenes still. And, it's another thing of, I heard what the big man in charge said last night when he really addressed, the Weeknd before the Weeknd came on and performed. It was just kind of like the actions of the Grammys and, people within the committees and voters and things like that. It's just, there's too many politics to it, and it's not enough about music. People are voting based on their politics, and I feel like it continuously takes away from the heart of what we know the Grammys to be. I mean, it's one of those things, even like where Miley Cyrus, where a lot of the times she was not put up in that nomination pool or even voted for because people judged her based on her public perception. And it's just like that should not be influencing how you feel about this music, what this music represents, what it embodies. So from that aspect of things, it makes you go, huh? Especially after his speech last night. But he also can't control the mind of voters who do that. They can only encourage. But also a lot of people aren't really thinking in that type of complex manner. He's the face of it. So he's going to take all of it. Now, what I will say about him and what he has been doing for the Grammys, I feel like he has put in a lot of work. There's no way he's going to come in as a black man and this is going to be an easy task, especially for a show that we've known to be ran by white men in suits. Let's just lay that all out there, because it's true. I don't know. After a few years, because there was a moment when he was speaking where I could be reflective of the progress it has made. There's still a lot of things we gotta address, but you do have to acknowledge the progress that they have made along the way. It's not just gonna happen overnight. I want it to. I want to see it happen tomorrow, bitch, but the reality of it is, it's not. But, work is being done, and I think that you could really see that this year. I think everybody saw that. Like, wow, you put on such a good show. Like, snaps and claps. I'm truly gagged. I can't believe I'm saying that out my mouth, because we used to call y'all the scamming Grammys, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just glad that people are holding them accountable. And I know that he has had conversations with The Weeknd, and obviously, The Weeknd has stayed away for a bit. And as I've said, they've had this journey to really bringing the Grammys kind of back to the heart of it. The Weeknd's kind of seeing the journey, and you know what I mean? Like, I also hope, and people will roll your eyes when you bring up Nicki Minaj, but she's such a prime example of somebody who has earned a Grammy but doesn't have one. Her entire career is like, it doesn't matter if she has one. That's the truth. The validation is in the people who listen, who buy, who show up to her sold out world tour. 20 years later, that right there is the trophy. And we know that politics has played a point in her getting that Grammy. It's just really interesting because each year it seems like they throw some different obstacle at her way to almost make her want to give up. That's what it seems like. You look at something else. I mean, it seems like several things to make her get to a point to not want to submit her work. Again, my perception, I'm sure you probably have a different one, but to ignore how Nicki Minaj has been played by the Grammys, I can't sit up here and talk about the Grammys and not talk about that. Well, I mean, to battle having conversations where two pop rap songs and you put one of the pop rap songs inside the rap category and then you put the other one inside of a pop category when they're pretty much both on the same levels of pop rap, it becomes interesting. Because I mean, are we dealing with people who don't understand rap from a technique perspective to where they're kind of like, oh, well, we hear a pop beat behind it, so it's pop? I mean, it's either that or you wanted to put her in a category where it was more difficult for her compared to the other one. because the songs were on the same level. And that got lost in translation whenever she tried to say it because, look, whenever she brought that up, someone else decided to try to make that conversation about them in their song. And their song was just simply the example. Two songs of the same pop type T and rap type T. When you go and listen to Super Freaky Girl, that technique down is rapping down. Well, you can't deny it. You can't say that has less rap than the opposing song. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not bringing I'm not bringing those up. It's just interesting, again, to hear versus what you see. I'm acknowledging the growth that they had, but I'm also seeing the BS behind the scenes. And the situation with the two songs was the year before they, quote unquote, announced that she had won a Grammy mistakenly. I mean, it's comical at this point. When you see things such as, and I can celebrate the winners of other female rappers without it being about her. It's just interesting that someone who's really pioneered a way for a lot of the people who have those Grammys as of recent years have managed to maneuver their way in and get the things that she has deserved herself, but they're withheld from her because of politics. Because if we're gonna be real, she should have at least 3. There's no reason why Pink Friday 2 wasn't in the rap album discussion. Anywho, moving on from that, look, using that as a prime example, girl, the politics in music, like, it has to go. It is ruining the industry. Anywho, now I'm going to get into this list, and I'm actually going to start from the bottom up. Come on. I got to go through all my text messages, y'all. I'm in the middle of planning my birthday party, so yeah, notifications down. Anyhow, okay. So, Best Dance Electronic Album, that went to Charlie XCX, Brad. So wholeheartedly agree. And I feel like a lot of people don't get Brad. And I understand. Right? I truly do understand. It's interesting because for Charlie XCX specifically, it's one of those things where when I was growing up, Charlie XCX really had a big wave. So from my end now, over a decade, I mean, it's pretty much been a decade since Charlie X really had true mainstream success in the US. And now that she has it, I can appreciate the work she has put in, her consistency, her artistry. I can respect it, even if all the songs don't identify with me. I mean, there are a lot of songs I like. I like at least 4 to 5 songs that I still listen to. So, you know, I think she did her thing. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And I think that's just that. But I do definitely think that she deserved the Best Electronic Dance Album Grammy. Now, for the Best Dance Pop Recording, Von Dutch, Charlie XCX. I don't really know. I personally feel like that's Ariana Grande. I feel like that's Yes and. Genuinely. It should have been. It's not that I don't think Von Dutch isn't a good song. I think it's a great song. It's also not for me, which again is fine. I don't think it's bad. But I mean, Madison Beer, no. Billie Eilish, potentially. Troye Sivan, no. But Got Me Started is my shit. But I definitely think that belonged to Yes and. That's not me saying Charlie doesn't deserve a Grammy. Okay? This is all in fun. Everybody has their own opinion. It's not that serious. Anyway, best pop solo performance. Bodyguard, Espresso, Apple, Birds of a Feather, Good Luck Babe. It went to Espresso. Espresso, definitely. I mean, look, either one of these could have won, and I think I would have been fine. Genuinely. I mean, it's stiff competition. Let's just be real. Espresso was really that song. It was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. You still can't escape her. So she ate that. For sure. That belongs to her. Best rap performance. Not Like Us. Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking at this list, I feel like that was common sense. Anyway, I'm gonna move on because I don't really have too much to say about Kendrick Lamar and Not Like Us. I think that he has been deserved Grammys for a lot of his work. I just feel like some Grammys for this song were excessive. Some. I mean, it's everywhere in the streets. I mean, you know what I mean? Look at the audience. It speaks for itself. It was deserving of some, but all of them I thought was questionable. Doesn't mean he doesn't deserve Grammys. Relax. Okay. Best Progressive R&B Album. That went to Avery Sunshine. I don't think I had a preference for this one right here. Honestly, I have not heard So Glad to Know You. I'm actually going to check that out. Let me screenshot that. Wait, this was a tie? Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. It's a tie between Anderson .Paak and Knowledge and Avery Sunshine. Oh, that's cute. I actually love when there's a tie. Like, yeah, people was really voting for y'all. Anywho. Best R&B Song. After Hours, Kehlani, Burning, Tim's Here We Go Again. Oh, Here We Go, not Here We Go Again. Coco Jones, Ruined Me, Mooney Long, Saturn, SZA. I mean, you know, yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, she ate that. She really did. I think that's so deserved. But either way, this would have, like, I would have been fine. These are all good songs by fantastic artists, genuinely. SZA, she is just one of a kind, you know? And I just feel like she deserves everything, and she's getting everything that she deserves. I remember, you know, that Rolling Stone interview with Meg, Normani, and SZA, and you could just tell that she wasn't where she wanted to be, you know? And everybody was like, oh, girl, no. But I understood what she meant. You know, it didn't seem like self-deprecating. She knew where she wanted to go, and she got there, and I can see it in her face that she feels, you know, fulfilled in a sense that she's reached the threshold that she wanted to. So, anywho, Songwriter of the Year, non-classical, Amy Allen, definitely. Ooh, Ray was on there too. First of all, Ray ate her performance down. I mean, down. I'm gonna get into the performances a bit later, but ooh, best rock song, Broken Man, St. Vincent. I actually don't know who that is. Best Americana album, Trail of Flowers, Sierra Farrell. I have no clue who that is. Producer of the Year, Daniel. Yeah, for sure. I can see him being producer of the year because that man, I'm telling you, he really does make some bops. I feel like anything that he touches is genuinely quality. Let me sip my tea, y'all. Hold on. So I went and bought me like a 6-pack of gingerbread tea for Christmas, and I have at least 4 left. So I will be drinking gingerbread tea for the foreseeable future. I promise you that. And it's good. Got some real good ginger up in there. Anyway. So, producer of the year, Dan, definitely, you ate that. Best alternative music album, All Born Screaming, St. Vincent. Cute. I have no clue who that is, but he snatched some things up. He really did. Hold on, wait. Best score soundtrack for visual media, Dune Part 2. That's cute. I mean, 2 of the movies that Zendaya's in, they are nominated for Best Soundtrack for Visual Media, Dune Part 2 and Challengers. Truly iconic, if you ask me. Okay, Best Alternative Jazz Album, No More Water, The Gospel of James Baldwin by Michelle. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name because I don't want to be disrespectful. But Michelle, congratulations. Best Opera Recording, Sariao? Adriana Matter? Congratulations, girl. I have no idea who that is, but I'm sure she ain't. Best African Music Performance. Hey, come on, Tims. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, tough category. Let's just be real there, but I'm so glad she ate that. Look, I feel like any music she makes, I'm going to like. I don't care. I really don't. I'm biased. Best Pop Vocal Album, Sabrina Carpenter. Yes. Absolutely. That album's fantastic. Beyonce was right. A breath of fresh air because she's just so uniquely her own, and I feel like she's really found her lane now, for sure. So, I mean, you had Billie, Ariana, Chapel, and Taylor in Best Pop Vocal. But look, Ariana Grande got robbed. I think Eternal Sunshine needed to walk away with at least 1 Grammy. Genuinely, that album is beautiful. It is. I feel like it's her best. Anywho, congrats to Sabrina. She ate that. Best Country Album, Beyonce. Let me tell you something. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this in that moment. You can see to her face how shocked that she was. I mean, when they announced her name, I said, oh, what do you mean? I did not expect them to give her that award. I mean, I don't know who I expected to win that, but I knew it wasn't Beyonce because there was no way, they were going to award a Black woman country album. Boom, boom. Did it, done it, shooketh, gaggeth. Like, bitch, like, she went crazy on that album. I got it the first time. I did not hear it all in one night, though. I listened to the first half the night it came out, and I listened to the back half the next day. And then I listened to the whole album in a row as I moved on from my initial listens. So it's a very long album. It's a task. I gotta be real with you. I had to break it down, but I got through it and it was just beautiful. I have at least 8 songs that I shuffle every single day. Anywho. So she won Best Country Album, fantastic. Best New Artist, Chapel Roan. Listen, look, let's talk about Chapel's performance, okay? Girl, you have made a stand out of me. I wasn't too big on her, but I respect her energy, and I respect the stances that she has taken on being an artist and being respected as a human being. So I really identify with that and that energy. And I respect her and her artistry and how she has made it her own and how it's so expressive of who she is. You know, I was just sitting there watching the performance and I could not take my eyes off of her. I was like, oh my goodness. This girl sounds so good. She has energy. She has stage presence. She's dancing. I mean, everything is just, the stars are aligning during this performance. And I was just like, whoa, congratulations. I was speaking to my friends as we were watching, and we were just like, oh my goodness. Okay. You've made fans out of us. Goal achieved, child. Anyway. So, congratulations to her, because I feel like she really deserved that award, and I think she proved that with the performance. Now, next up, Best Latin Pop Album, Shakira. First of all, I haven't heard the album, but my bestie has, and I can tell you she ate that up, because that motherfucker is not saying she didn't eat down if she didn't. I promise you. Anyway, but Funk Generation, I have heard that by Nita, and it's actually quite a good album. I had a lot of fun listening to it. So, congratulations to Shakira, Stiff Competition, and that one for sure. And honestly, I feel like if it went to anyone, I feel like most people would be happy. Okay, Record of the Year. Because you had the Beatles, Beyonce, Sabrina, Charlie, Billy, Kendrick, Chappell, Taylor. I mean, whew. That's some stiff competition right there, to be honest with you. But it went to Not Like Us. Which, I was like, you know, fine. Fine, for sure. It's everywhere. It's not in the streets. It's all across the fucking country. And I would say the globe, too. Honestly, look, I'm not in the male rap beef thing. I love me some female rappers. Hello, you know what I mean? So like when there is female rap beef, I love it. I watch it from a standpoint like it's a fucking reality TV show. I don't get invested in a reality TV show. I watch it, and when that bitch is done, I move on with my life. It's not mine. They're not paying my bills. It's entertainment to me though. But you know what I mean? So it is just interesting to watch the take on this male rap beef and how even a diss track with men can be something that becomes awarded by Grammys, because there's no way in hell that's going to happen with a female rapper, even if it is the quality that is Not Like Us. So, anywho, y'all. So we have next up Song of the Year. Now this is what pissed me off. This pissed me off. Y'all, we had a bar song, Birds of a Feather, Die with a Smile, Fortnite, Good Luck Babe, Not Like Us, Please, 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 Texas Hold'em for Song of the Year. And it goes to Not Like Us? Come on. Come on. Side note here. Kendrick Lamar, and you can take this however you want to, Kendrick Lamar was given the same amount of Grammys last night that Drake has over the course of his career. They both now have 5. Kendrick won 5 last night. Take that however you please. It's just interesting information to me for a lot of things, for a lot of reasons. Anyway, moving on. I don't think that should have went to him. In my opinion, I think it should have went to a bar song. I'm just saying. But if we are talking in the realms of truly Song of the Year, I mean, I don't know. It's stiff competition. Either way. I mean, I'm not mad it went to him, but yeah. Because what do you mean? I felt like at that point they were reaching, because I was like, yeah, like going off, like he ate that, like, you know, he's well deserving of these Grammys. I wish it was for the projects that, you know, were really, really something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was a diss track. This felt like something light. This didn't feel like all of the effort that he put into these previous songs or in projects. So, you know, anyway, moving on from that, I feel like Shaboozey needed to walk away with something for a bar song. It was just too big. Album of the Year. Cowboy Carter, the first black woman to win Album of the Year since 1999. That was last century, and that is insane. Y'all, when they told me how many black women won Album of the Year overall, I said, oh my God. I believe there were 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think Beyonce may be 5. She's either 4 or 5. And they had won before the 2000s came, obviously. But she's the first in 25 years. Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, the work that she has put in over 25 years. I mean, yes, this is for Lemonade. For sure. This is for Renaissance. I think both of those albums, look, if people want to say self-titled, but look, I'm going to be real, and I'm just saying Lemonade, and I'm saying Renaissance. Those were definitely albums of the year, and if anything, Lemonade for sure. That was robbed. But, you know, I enjoyed seeing Beyonce really get her flowers, and a lot of people don't like that Beyonce wins. When she wins, they get mad. I mean, it's just interesting. It's also interesting because a lot of it will come from the same people who will celebrate Taylor Swift for releasing an album, and then within that album releasing so many different editions, and then within that album also releasing side little EPs of certain collections of songs and stuff like that. And it's just interesting to me because, look, this is business at the end of the day, and people have to remember that. This is a business, and you do want to maximize your earnings for your business. I mean, it's not just going to herself. All of this money is being divided into people who depend on her to keep going. Well, people don't really think about the complexity of that. Oh, you only well, my fave released one version. Look, bitch, I don't give a fuck. We're running a business. We're helping feed people here. Be fucking for real. Anywho, that's really all I have to say about that. But, you know, I pretty much covered all the bases here. I wanted to talk about, you know, the show and how excited I was and confused at the same time with enjoying the Grammys. And then I want to talk about the nomination list, which I just did. So obviously I'm beginning to wrap this up, y'all. But, you know, I'm noticing that there's a shift in the energy with the Grammys and the music industry. I genuinely feel like there's a shift happening. And, you know, there's so much going on in the world right now. I just feel like last night was such a moment for everybody to get out of their just, you know, everyday news cycle and doom of this administration and everything going on. What a step out of it. Although we got moments that still kept us informed, it was still a break. And it's truly a testament to also, you know, and I said this on my last podcast, Black in America, it is that balance of self-care and staying informed. However the balance works for you. Not everybody has the same balance. It's whatever is personal to you. But it is that taking care of yourself and staying informed. Watching the Grammys and getting us kind of out of that news cycle, kind of filling us with self-care and excitement and joy and music and love, and then being informed through people really using their platforms. Beautiful. I mean, the firefighters coming on stage right there in LA, and, you know, the people inside that building giving them their flowers for their hard work and efforts. I mean, shout out to those firefighters, not only the ones in California, but who came across from different countries to help us, from Canada coming over to help us, from Mexico coming over to help us. The love, I love that. So, y'all, that's really all I have to talk about today for the Grammys. I mean, usually with me, there's something to critique, and there's just nothing. And I'm glad that there's nothing. It feels good. I mean, you can see the Grammys and kind of smile a bit. You know what I mean? I know people want to be like, oh, Grammys don't matter. Grammys don't matter. Grammys don't matter. They're always going to matter, even when we are calling them out. We're calling them out because we want them to be better, not because we want to shut the Grammys down and have nothing no more to really award people. We want them to take accountability and do better. And, well, let's just be real. While the Grammys, they're making this progress, what are the other award shows doing? Hello. I think there's a discussion to be had about transparency with the award shows. We need to know when your start date is and when your end date is for your eligibility period. Let's start opening up that discussion, because it becomes a thing where things that are released in the back half of the year, and then you come around to a new year and things within the last 3 months before an award show in May, all of those are getting the awards and nominations. But the things released in the prior months are not. And well, let's be real. We are in a time where things do burn out fast. I mean, not simply because maybe something is just like a burnout single or something like that, but just because of what gets platformed, what gets played on the radio. They're doing pay for play with playlists, with radio stations. Well, just saying. Oh, child. This industry is nasty. But I tell you what, something is going to be done about it. We have a new generation, including Chapel Roan, who is willing to use their voices for good. Using her platform, using her time to say her speech, to point things toward healthcare for artists, a different perspective that maybe not everybody had paid attention to. Just saying. But in regards to the performances, just to touch base on those really quick, highlights for me, Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, when you give a theater kid a budget and a stage, look what they can do. I mean, beautiful. How beautiful was that? I said, wow, you really showed me the range that you have. Snaps and claps to you, girlie. I just know Taylor was looking at, she was like, oh, like a proud mother, truly. It was wonderful to see Miley, even though she did not perform. That was perfectly fine. Her and Beyonce won country duo. That was amazing. Two Most Wanted was an amazing song. Truly. I never thought in a million years that Beyonce and Miley Cyrus would have a song, let alone win a Grammy for it. If you would have told me that, I'd been like, girl, you lying. For real. But it's very nice to see. Let's see. Who else's performance? I mean, Doechii, you ate that up. I mean, that performance was fantastic. The representation. I mean, the braids. I mean, the all dark skin. I mean, whoa. And you can really, you can feel the inspiration from everybody. I mean, down from Queen Latifah. I mean, when I'm listening to that, I'm sitting there thinking of Roman Holiday and UNITY. You know what I mean? Like, it's really given such a combination of several things. So, I love that. Who else? I thought Benson Boone was cute. I don't have too much to say about that performance. I just thought it was cute. Now, who else stood out to me? Oh, obviously Cynthia. Cynthia, amazing. The tribute overall, I just felt like they did a very good job. a very good job with the tribute. I felt like it was very worthy of Quincy Jones. I mean, wow. I don't, girl, because for some reason, I'm like, who else performed? Because I can't seem to be thinking of. Oh, Charlie XCX, she performed. I enjoyed her performance. I don't know what I was expecting her to perform, but those songs were not it, so it totally caught me off guard. I was like, huh? But I enjoyed it. It was just a party on stage. That's all it was. It wasn't nothing too serious. It was just fun, having a good time, strutting and talking her shit, essentially. Okay, let's see. Ray did perform. I told my bestie, I said, that's giving Amy Winehouse 100%. Amy Winehouse would be so proud of that lady. Anywho, I can't think of anybody else. I'm sitting here looking through the nominations list like, is anybody going to pop up to me? But I know Shakira performed too. She always eats. That's not a conversation to be had. Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. I mean, what a duo. They have found a musical partner within each other. It's true indeed. Promise you. But all right, y'all. That's really all I have today. There's nothing else. I'm like looking through the list like, what else did I miss? Because Miley Cyrus and Beyonce, they're not on this list, but it is what it is. I just wanted to cover the main ones, just the little side ones. So I got it down. I appreciate y'all though. Thank you so much for listening today. These allergies are trying to take me out. I'm telling y'all, I don't know what is going on. It is what it is. I appreciate you, seriously. Thank you so much for listening to the That's So Dev podcast, where you stay true and you stay you. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at That's So Dev, on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and everywhere else, including YouTube. We kind of popping over there. Again, I appreciate you. Drink some water, eat some good food, take care of yourself, because if you don't, who else is going to? Be fucking for real. All right, y'all. I'm hopping off here. Once again, I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next podcast. Peace.